Hey there, YouTubers, how you guys doing? I know, this review should have been out months ago. Well, I'm doing it now. Better late than never, right guys? So that review is going to be on the Nemesis. There was a few issues I had with it when I got it, and the one is when you go to take the battery out, it would lock up all the time. Couldn't take the battery out with the damn thing not locking up to where you couldn't get it apart, and you had to take your addy off and take a screwdriver and loosen that pin up a little bit where you could get it apart. After I figured out how to fix that, I've been using it non-stop. I'm going to show you a few things I did to the actual button to make the button smooth. The button is smooth as smooth can be, not crunchy like most of them are nowadays. And, well, sorry about that, guys. Clear it away. And I'm going to show you a few things I've done to it overall. Now, I did trade for this. I traded the Bagua that I had, the 18350 Bagua with 2 batteries for this. And I've really been enjoying it. Now, when the first couple days I had it, I hated it. Because every time you went to loosen up to change a battery, it'd lock up to where you'd be like, and then you'd have to take your addy off, take a screwdriver, go like this, turn it counterclockwise just a little bit, and then you'd be able to loosen that up and be able to get it apart. Well, I'm going to show you what you can do if you have one that's doing that. Okay, before I forget, let's open up my focus here so I could focus for you guys. I'm going to take my center pin out because there's nothing really dramatic I've done to it. I mean, if you look, pretty much all stock. Now I'm going to take off my slight mod. That way I could show you the center pin the way it is. Okay. Now, if you look there, you can see the center pin. And the center pin has that like little flathead screwdriver piece on it. And it's pretty well set up like that. Well, what I've done is I've taken a little O-ring right there. You can see it's been crushed. I should change that out for a newer O-ring, one that hasn't been crushed yet, which I will do now. That's probably the reason why I've been having a lot of issues. But the way the O-ring originally looked, well, that thing has been crushed. But the way the O-ring originally looks is about like that thick and everything. And what I would do is I'll take this piece here, take the O-ring, push it down. Well, no, that ain't the O-ring that... Okay. I thought it was the... Oh, okay. Oh, I guess I was wrong. That ain't the O-ring that I used. But, you know what? That's the O-ring I am going to use because I have quite a few of them O-rings. I have 3 of them in here. So I'm going to use them O-rings because they fit pretty tight over that right there and give you that little bit. And basically what happens is when you put that O-ring on there like that, when you tighten it up onto your mod, well, onto the deck, it gives you that little bit. Well, actually, you know what, I'm going to take and keep the O-ring that was on it, take this O-ring back off, because I'm thinking, because all my 510 connectors have a shallow center pin. If I keep that thicker piece on there, it's going to make it where I have to readjust all my jennies to where they got a longer center pin to come down over that. well, to come down and make contact with this post, well, the center pin, because this center pin will be much deeper into the 510 connector. So yeah, I just thought of that. I'll put the one back on it that's been crushed a little bit, and actually fits it almost perfectly now. So what I do is I'll take it, tighten it down where it's just snug, and then I'll give it a quarter of a turn from snug, and 9 times out of 10 it's almost tight enough for the Jenny I run on it. I tighten it down just a little bit more, and that's perfect. So that's basically what I did to fix the locking up issue of the Nemesis clones. Gotta take the button apart so I could show you what else I've done to it. And my button I do have nice and tight, so I use pliers, loosen it up. Now I could just take it apart. Now when you do take your button apart, make sure you don't lose your rice pin. You lose that little pin, you're going to have to make one, or you can buy some from Fat Daddy Vapes. I do believe they have some rice pins there, if I'm not mistaken. I could check, but too lazy to do that. But next modification I did was to the actual button. Let's see if I can get, well, that right where the rice pin sits on the button, that was catching on the brass piece, which is right here. It was catching on the inside, and it was causing the button to be all notchy and not smooth. Like right now, this button is smooth as silk. But what was happening is that area right there was catching on that, causing it every time you went to push, it would be like it was really crunchy, not smooth, pain in the butt. So I took the small sanding drum from a Dremel, took that, shaved that piece down, got rid of all burrs and everything in that area, smoothed that right out. I haven't had no issues with it since I've done that. So them were two main issues I've had with this Nemi, and I've never, I'm a person that will sit there and I'll monkey with it and try to fix it to get it to where it will work like it should right out of the box. I'm a fiddler. I tear, I tear every one of my buttons apart. I make sure all my mods, internally and externally, are clean. Yeah, they may have some scratches in them or something like that. Some, little imperfections, but they fire just as good as they were when they were brand new. This Nemesis fires better than what it did when it was brand new because it had a crunchy ass button. Had a lot of issues with it. If I sit in there, matter of fact, I'm gonna tighten it down. If I was sitting here trying to use it like this with my pinky, I couldn't use it like this. I couldn't use it like that because every time you pushed the button, you had to push it directly in the center or it would go and lock up. But doesn't really matter where you push it now. Now it's going to call me a liar because it's starting to stick again. Why is it doing that today? Maybe because I tore it apart and misaligned or put in my... Nope, there it is. It's all nice and smooth again. Probably because I took it apart and the rice pin wasn't set in there just right or something. But it's a really smooth button now that I've tore it apart. It doesn't stick like most of your Nemi clones out there do. But if you're going to buy a Nemesis, you may have to do this to it. The O-ring That's an easy fix. But the button, not everybody's going to want to take the button apart and take a dremel and smooth them rough edges around where the that rice pin sits. Now, I do have another Nemi from a company, and this is my main Nemi. But I got this one. I will be doing a review on it shortly because it's completely different compared to this one. But this one here, I've really enjoyed it. As you can see, I used both of them. With that being said, overall, it is a very good mod. Now, I don't know, just like I said, I don't know if this is a H Cigar or EH Pro or one of the other, or Tobacco, or any of them companies out there. I don't know what company this one comes from. So I can't really say, well, you know, be aware of this company. All I could say is, when you do buy one, if you do have the issues with, you know, it locking up on you and you can't get it taken apart like this, where you can't get it apart without, you know, just taking O-ring thick enough to, well, basically what I did is I had my device on. I looked at it and seen the gap that I had. I went through my little thing of spare O-rings and everything I have right here, and I found an O-ring that would work, put it in there, and that's been in there since. Now, the button will be a little bit harder for most of you guys out there because not everybody is going to have a dremel out there. So that one may be a little bit harder, but overall, it's a very good mod. It's very, very, very good. Hits really well. I've had no real issues with a hot button like a lot of people that super sub ohm. I'm anywhere between 0.8 to 1 ohm 99.999% of the time. So I don't super sub ohm, but I do. And I've been pretty happy with this mod. With that being said, thanks for watching. Vape on. See you next time.